What's the vibe? Rastunasi back again with another video. So today we're going to be talking about my 1 week semen retention update, and also a little bit about how I went 100 days and relapsed and what went on after I relapsed. So any of you on NoFap or semen retention will know when you relapse hard. You relapse so hard. And I want this video to really give you guys a bit of confidence. The 100 and something day streak was by far my longest streak. Maybe not by far. I've been 60 days, 70 days, but I've never got to 100 plus until this time for the first time. And when I relapsed for about 2 weeks, I could not stop myself from doing the habit. But where I've been on other streaks before, I am aware that every time I relapse, that's how it goes. It might be for a day, where within that day I just end up jerking off 3-4 times, or it might be for the week I can't stop myself. But it's all a part of the learning process to relapse, to build it up again, go on another streak, and at some point it will click where you stop relapsing. But what I'm trying to go over today is when you go on a long streak, you sort of start to forget the small little things mentally, emotionally, psychologically that start getting better when you start embarking on this journey. So the first thing is just literally feeling a different type of motivation to keep going. You'll find within this last week I've uploaded a lot more frequently, and that is strictly just due to heightened forms of motivation and probably heightened forms of dopamine as well. Pick up my guy. So when you have heightened forms of motivation and dopamine, it means you're just more likely to achieve your goals because you've got more willpower to go ahead and embark on these things. So I totally forgot how low mood and how you don't want to do anything, or how you choose to do that rather than the important thing. So when you choose bad habits over good habits, over the long term, it's going to start having psychological and mental effects on you. You're going to slowly become more anxious, more depressed. And this is scientifically backed. When you do anything that spikes dopamine, at some point your dopamine has to level itself. The world works in balance. So if you keep spiking your dopamine, you're going to keep having a lower base level. Watch Andrew Huberman's podcast. But I recently uploaded a video about how to stay locked in. And one of the biggest things as a man you can do to help you stay locked in is to stop watching corn and jerking the rabbit. Now, there are many non-believers when it comes to semen retention and NoFap. A lot of people that believe you have to release in order to stay healthy. The biggest joke about these people is that the last time they went a week without doing it was when they didn't know about the practice altogether, and when they were like 15, 14 years old. And generally speaking, when they took that week, that month or that year off doing it, it was because they had a purpose. They had something more important to do. They were more driven and they had more within them to do that thing. So the reality is even when people say, oh, I've done it before and I never felt a change or I never experienced a change, the change was there. You just didn't want to look for it because you didn't want to stop doing this addiction or this habit that you like to do, because it brings you comfort, pleasure, peace, it lets you sleep at night, whatever the case may be. But one thing not mentioned within the week is, one thing people don't speak about enough on this journey is, 1, your levels of confidence. 2, your face suddenly clears up. And these things are the things now that people don't believe in when it comes to NoFap and semen retention. These random But the reality is, the reason you don't believe it is because you've never tried. So you don't have the personal experience. You don't even have the willpower within you to try it. Regardless of what statistics and facts and figures say, if you do the thing and you experienced negative or positive change, as long as it's for an extended period of time, because sometimes your body needs time to purge something, so it might feel worse to start, but it gets better as time goes on with certain things. You know, fasting and stuff like that are good examples. But in general, you don't know how your makeup is. You don't know how the research was done, what they did. So personal experience is going to be one of your number one things in choosing the things you do on a regular basis. That being said, regardless of what you think you know, if you've not tried something, you don't really have a personal experience. You don't know for sure. It's as if someone telling you that, anything, gravity states that anything you put in the air will always fall to the ground. And you will look at them and be like, that sounds about true, but until you lift that apple and let it fall to the ground, you won't know it for an absolute fact. You have to see it, you have to experience it for yourself. Even when you know it's a absolute fact, until you see or experience this thing, you will never actually be 100% sure. So this is for people who like to shit on things that they've never tried or never put an effort into trying, or they've tried it for a day and then decided that was long enough, they ain't seen no difference, moving on.